Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the zodiac sign Cancer and their health, and yes, it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Well, anyway, people, the first thing is, well, the Cancer health generally, as far as their vitality and energy is usually not great, and the constitution can be weak. A prominent family member of mine had a Cancer ascendant at 29 degrees, and she also had Saturn conjunct the ascendant, and it seemed like she had some kind of perpetual illness. She was always talking to me about having a terrible cold. I think a lot of times it was just allergies. I used to call her jokingly Mrs. Allergies. And the thing about it too is, which gets to another point about Cancer and their health, I think a lot of times Cancer may distort or magnify their illnesses to some degree. I think there's an exaggerated fear often connected with what they have, and also sometimes I think it could be psychosomatic in some cases. I think what happens is Cancers can be notorious for worrying, and I think what happens as a result is the worrying could exacerbate or escalate an existing health condition, I think, in some cases for Cancer. Now, Cancer is not known for their energy. It's generally lower than average. The points in Cancer that could be sensitive could be the chest, and they are the chest and the stomach area. Now, the thing about Cancer is, as far as the stomach area goes, they may be prone toward a bloated stomach, ulcers, stomach aches, stomach cramps, even perhaps in some extreme cases, some really bad, digestive issues, perhaps ulcers, and really the thing about Cancer too is, as far as anything really bad or extreme, even stomach cancer, I should say, this is really something where with Cancer too, as far as the chest area goes, well, for women especially, breast cancer can happen. It can really be strong. I think I would say for the zodiac sign Cancer, sun, moon, or ascendant, the breast cancer can be something that would be of concern for them more than the other zodiac signs, because of the anatomical correspondence with the breast and the chest area with Cancer. And even men could get breast cancer as well. It's more prominent in women, I'm sure, but they still, they still can get something. So they're not exempt from it. It's not just women, so men as well. And the Cancer, as far as their recuperative powers, are not exactly tremendous. They can, once Cancer gets an illness, and even if it's a non-zodiac sign Cancer related thing, such as a general, like a cough or cold, it could be very persistent, and it could go on for some time, because their recuperative powers are generally not exactly stupendous. And another thing, I think a lot of the weak constitution associated with Cancer, a lot of that could be attributed perhaps to their immune system, which is not exactly superlative. So another thing too is that Cancer can have a propensity to put on weight. It is a type that can be fleshy and often above average in weight. And a lot of that is attributed to the eating. I think a lot of times with Cancer, that food can supplant love. And sometimes they'll wind up overcompensating as a result. Say if they're in a situation where they don't have somebody, or they recently have had a breakup or something with an ex-lover or what have you, and then all of a sudden they don't have anybody. I think a lot of times Cancer can resort to overindulgence as far as their food goes. Now, another thing to look at with Cancer as far as their health, Sagittarius often falls on the 6th house cusp, so Cancer may get things, health-related issues associated with the sign Sagittarius, such as something with the hamstring, such as a pulled hamstring, something with the sciatic nerve. Could be some issue with the thigh, liposarcoma, tumor in the thigh. In some extreme cases, something with the sciatic nerve as well. And another thing too is, as far as anything, like say that like a non-physical ailment that cancer can succumb to, well, something hits me as compulsive hoarding, which is different than in the case of Taurus, because with Taurus, compulsive hoarding could happen as a result of being overly acquisitive and just having the accumulation of possessions just to simply have them. But with Cancer, it's more of a sentimental connection to things. It's unwillingness to discard of things because they may think that, oh, everything's got some sentimental connection because it is associated with their past. And it's not necessarily just things connected with their family or family memorabilia. It could just be just the simple fact that they've had it in the past and they want to retain it for that reason because it's connected with the past. And the sign Cancer is strongly connected with that. I should know about Cancer in the past, since my sun sign is Cancer. And also there is some issues sometimes with water retention with Cancer. And back to another thing, as far as a non-physical ailment, also a borderline personality disorder, because Cancer can be a sign that can be very fickle and temperamental, and they can have a lot of vacillation with their mood swings. So those are some things to look at. And also another thing, a social anxiety disorder that could be possible too, because Cancer, it could be very introverted, and in extreme cases it could be such where they may develop that kind of problem for that reason, like the people aversion thing, so to speak. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the zodiac sign Cancer and health. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about the zodiac sign Leo and health. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.